So you're going to have to use your imagination. We've got ourselves stuck again, but now we can't snatch ourselves out. We've tried the recovery tracks to get out. We're going to have to use the winch. So turn the car off. Main thing you want to do is just take it nice and easy. You don't want to rush. Take your time and make sure you do it nice and safe. So first things first, you come to the front of the car and the winch. We always leave it in free spool. Alright, so that lever should be straight up and down. Then you want to pull back this one here, open up the jaws and take your cable off. And now because it's in free spool, you'll pull this out to your tree or your vehicle, whatever it is you're winching on. You want to pick something that's in a nice straight line. You don't want to be pulling and winching on an angle. It makes it a lot harder on the winch and the cable, and a lot more dangerous. So you want a nice straight pull. This is your tree trunk protector. You always put this around the tree. You don't want to just wrap the cable around the tree because it'll pull in and it'll kill the tree. Alright, you want it to be nice and low on the tree. The lower it is, the stronger it's going to be. Obviously, if you've got it up there, you've got that lever action, it's going to can pull the tree down. So again, open it up and slip that through there. Right. Now once you've done that, you've got all your gear. If it's too long, you've also got a winch extension strap. So you can put that from the cable to the tree trunk protector. Gives you a bit more length. Once you've taken all your gear out that you need, you get the rest of your recovery bag, and same as the snatch, when you're snatching, open that up, lay the cable over it, fold it back over, and you put that in the middle of your cable. That way, if the tree trunk protector breaks, that'll stop the hook and the cable coming back into the car. So our cable's secured to the tree with the tree trunk protector. We've got our dampener in place. Now we've got to engage our winch drum. To do that, you push this lever over this way. So you can see it's hitting there and it's not going into gear. So what you want to do is put a bit of pressure on that, pulling it that way, and pull out the cable. You want your gloves, alright? Any little burrs on here are really going to cut into your hand. So every time you're handling the cable, you want some nice rigger's gloves. Alright, so you can pull that out, and there you go. See, it just went over there. Now that drum's engaged. Right, another safety thing we like to do is to lift the bonnet. Now to do that, you pull it across, lift there, then pull the stay forward, your bonnet's there. Now, just that extra bit of safety. If the cable breaks or the tree trunk protector breaks, the cable comes back here, it's got to get past the dampener as well, and then it's got to get past the bonnet before it can do any damage to the person, to the driver. Alright, so it's just that extra bit of safety. Obviously, your driver can't see, so he is relying on his spotter that we've got Daryl over here, a nice safe distance, more than two times the distance of the cable away from the car, and he's going to use his hand signals or a UHF radio and keep in communication with the driver. So the spotter is going to be running the winch and the driver's just there doing what he's told. Stop winching, start winching, and so forth. So before you start winching, familiarise yourself again with the winching instructions. They're in front of the gear sticks there. It's laid out, it's pretty simple, step by step. So, as I said, just get familiar with that, take your time. You see down here, that's to engage the PDO of the winch. So we'll pull that out in a minute, but you won't be able to see that from the next clip. You want to put it in neutral and start the car. As you see, it's all set out here. Right, so we're up to step 5, set transfer case control lever into the neutral position. So this is your transfer case, high to low. It's in high now, so we want to push it forwards into neutral. Just to check that it's in neutral, put the car into gear and just slowly let your foot off the clutch. If the car doesn't drive, your transfer case is in neutral, okay? So that's good. Foot back on the clutch, take it out of gear. Right. Now you lean down here and pull this cable. So you pull that all the way out. We've now engaged the winch. So this is run off the gears of the car. So you put your foot on the clutch and you select your gear. First gear is going to be slower, second, third and fourth is faster, and reverse will feed the cable out. Alright, so we obviously want to wind the cable in so that we can get out of this stuck position. So I'm going to select second gear, and now I'm going to have a look over at my spotter, and when everything's ready and everyone's clear, he'll yell out and announce to everyone that we are winching, and when that's right, we'll go on his command. Alright, so foot out of the clutch, cable will now pull up, and we should start moving any second. Now you want to steer the car toward the cable, so you're going in the right direction. Thumbs out of the steering wheel, you hit something on the steering wheel, can fly around and really break your thumb. Now if Darryl was to yell out stop or stop winching for any reason, put your foot immediately on the clutch and the winch will stop. Now if you're winching uphill, as soon as you put your foot on the clutch, that will hold you in that position. You won't fall backwards. Okay? Then when he's ready to go again, you let your foot off the clutch. Maintaining eye contact, watching Darryl, because he's your eyes and ears. You're just here following his commands. Stopping again, and we're out. So now we've gotten out of our bog, we're in a nice flat area, it's nice and safe. So we're going to feed the cable back out. So we're going to go into reverse, we're going to watch our spotter, and we're just going to put a bit of slack on the cable so it's easy to unhook it off our tree or our vehicle that we're winching off. Okay, then you're into neutral, handbrake on, and then shut it off. So we're out of our bog now, we've got to pack up. So the tension's off the cable now, so it's all nice and safe. You want to remove your bag, disconnect your tree trunk protector. Remember, if you're handling on the cable, you want your gloves. Alright, pack that up. And now we're going to go back to the car, re-engage it all again and wind it in. Now everything's unhooked off the tree there. We'll come back here and we can put our bonnet down now. Now as we're winding the cable, we're going to be watch each other and communicate to each other. So I'll be going back here at the hook. Right, so Darryl's now going to wind it in, second gear is nice and slow and easy to manage. You want to keep your cable off the ground if you can, keep it out of the sand, the mud, keep everything as clean as you can. You want to be watching the drum and you want to feed it on nice and evenly. If you just leave it in the one spot, it'll wind up and up in that spot, and then it'll bind up and you won't be able to get all the cable back on the drum. You can apply a little bit of throttle and that'll speed up the winching as well, or you can go 3 gears. Second gear's nice and manageable. You want to go down to about a metre from the vehicle before you stop. You don't want to winch it all the way, and you want to make sure your hands and everything are clear of the drum. When I get about a minute and a half, I'll put my hand up to Darryl and indicate to stop winching. Right, so he's stopped there. Make sure you tell him to put it out of gear. So out of gear. Now it's out of gear. It can't possibly wind in. Okay. So now we are going to put the hook back onto the bull bar. Okay, that's there. Next step is to disengage the winch drum. So you pull this lever back over so it's straight up and down in the vertical position, and now you can wind the drum manually by hand and just take up the slack. Now that can't free spool out by itself. It's important to leave that in the free spool position. Okay, so leave that disengaged straight up and down. If you were to leave the control cable out, you could drive off, and what can happen is that if this winch is still engaged, it will actually pull the bull bar into your winch. Okay, but with that in the straight position, the PDO is still turning, but the winch drum is not connected, so it'll spin and spin, but it won't actually wind up the cable. So it's just that bit of extra safety there. So always in the free spool position, just vertical, straight up and down. Your cable's now all wound up, everything's done. You've left your drum in that upright position to free spool. Now you've got to remember to push that one in. So just push that back in, put your transfer case back into high range or low range, whatever your conditions ahead need, and then you're off driving, all recovered.